those reactions as they should as go on. Of course, to crystallize that discussion here in studio currently, Bavesha, CEO of the Jab Group, and Dr. Tom Kabau from the Law Society of Kenya. Karibuni sana.
Thank you.
The advent of ICT in this country, the enabling of faster and faster speeds for data has created an entirely new set of challenges and circumstances for not just the economy, but for parents, individuals, and others. And this has sort of it created a space where you need policy to drive the sector and that sort of thing. And at times you sort of feel that we may be lagging behind in different areas. First off, to you, Bhavesh, the fact that Kenya has indeed been at the forefront of development of ICT in this part of Africa. Do you think when it comes to the law, we are at par with our growth?
I would comment that, you know, there is a cyber crime bill that is drafted and is at the Senate right now.
Yes.
That's the right direction that the country is going to. Mm-hmm. Of course, there are certain provisions within the cyber crime bill may not fit to the particular environment we are in right now. But, you know, there is a need for us to start somewhere. And I think Kenya is doing a good job taking that step, one step forward, rather than going backwards. The question then remains that are we sensitizing the population of this country and educating them that what it entails and how it goes about it?
Mm-hmm. Well, coming to you, you are a lawyer. Yes. And the fact that this law is being, so to say, proactively created to deal with some of the challenges we are facing, do you think we're headed in the right direction?
I will concur with Mr. Shah that we are headed in the right direction. But we also need to know that law, in relation to cybercrime, even some of the traditional law, such as the penal code, mm-hmm. And even some provisions of, say, the Banking Act,
yes,
or the Information and Communication Technology Act, are still relevant. And especially the penal code, for instance,
yes,
if fraud is committed mm-hmm. with the use of an electronic device,
yes,
that device can be produced in court mm-hmm. as part of the evidence or the communication. And more importantly, the Evidence Act yes. of Kenya recognizes mm-hmm. expressly that electronic evidence is admissible.
Yes.
Yes. Now, what is happening now when we talk about the cybercrime bill is to try to seal the loopholes and address the emerging issues. Mm-hmm. There could, of course, be some shortcomings in the bill as it is drafted, but that is why, under even the Constitution, is the aspect of stakeholders' participation mm-hmm. and public participation mm-hmm. that I've actually seen in the website that there was a request, for instance, from the ICT.
Yes, public participation.
Yes, that mm-hmm. members of the public could send their comments in relation to the bill.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So then you don't think, in essence, what you're saying, that there is duplication or that we might be attacking, so to say, a mosquito with a hammer. These laws are really right for situation.
Yes, we are headed in the right direction. Mm-hmm. You know what happens with the law? Mm-hmm. The law will strive to avoid any gap.
Yes.
You may find, for instance, in the cybercrime bill,
yes.
it might reinforce or seem to repeat some of the offenses which otherwise would have still been punished mm-hmm. Under the penal code. But yes. what it is more importantly, what it will do, it will expand mm-hmm. the scope of activities that amount to crime.
Yes.
Create new offenses.
Yes.
And safeguard certain activities.
Yes.
Even if, for instance, under the old law, certain activities could not be committed, could not be punished. Mm-hmm. You know, certain objective was not achieved.
Yes.
It will. The fact that we're in the process of committing
yes.
it, under the new law now might also be punishable.
Okay, I'll ask you gentlemen to hold your thoughts so we can look at the story we had talked about before. Now, the proliferation of ICT in the country is increasingly exposing children to various forms of cybercrime. So what exactly can be done to nip this in the bud? Well, Tobias Chanji reports from Kwale, where the Communication Authority held an ICT Consumer Education Forum dubbed Kikao. Take a look for yourself.
Speaking at the forum, the chairperson of the Communication Authority, Mr. Ngene Gituku, said the list of crimes include cyberbullying.
These young people feel embarrassed, upset, depressed or afraid and can damage their self-esteem and pose a threat to their psychological well-being.
And to safeguard children's online safety, he noted that the authority is implementing the second phase of a child online protection campaign that will focus on legislative framework, capacity building, research, local and international cooperation, as well as public awareness.
The campaign highlights the role that parents, guardians and teachers need to play to protect children in cyberspace and at the same time provide avenues for redress should one encounter cybercrime.
Kwale County Governor Salim Vuria said the county will leverage on such initiatives by the authority to enlighten the citizens of safe internet use, as well as guidelines to protect susceptible sections of the population from the unforeseen risks online.
We'll also identify the key interventions from these discussions so that as a county government we can also have a role to play.
The Kikao Kikuu is a communication authority initiative aimed at sensitizing consumers of ICT services on their rights and responsibilities within the ICT environment. The event is hosted in partnership with the county governments and has to date been held in 11 counties since inception in 2014. Kwale County is among those earmarked to benefit from the projects that will cover several sub-locations in the area, with the telecommunication voice services in Kasemeni, Kilimangodo, Mwandimu, Busa, Vigurungani and Kilibasi. For KTN Business, I'm Tobias Chanji.
Well, indeed, Tobias Chanji reporting there from Kwale, where the conversation has been around consumption of ICT and how to proactively protect those, of course, who would be exposed in one way or the other. Now, bringing us back to our discussion. Now, recently, globally, international hackers took down nearly half of the internet for about 1 or 2 hours. How can we in this country proactively then start to say that things like that at the local level might not be able to really happen to us?
We are not, we are part of the global community in terms of the internet. And the issues that happened during that attack are applicable to us as well. And we need to strengthen our cybersecurity at a national level as well as at the corporate level. A lot of the companies here are not in a position to defend themselves. Even the government itself is not in a position to defend itself against any cyber threats in this country right now, at this particular point in time. The reason is that the attacks that happened at the global level were denial of service attacks. And that particular attack happened over a period of time. And the reason was that when the hackers took over the systems, it was done through certain gaps in the systems that were prevalent in that particular company called DYN. And what happened was that they did it patiently over a period of few months and a couple of years, where they penetrated the entire system. And when they attacked the DNS, denial of service attack, the service, they basically brought the entire internet down. And the fact of the matter is that it will happen in Kenya as well. The problem is that we don't have any safeguards in this country if that happens. And we are playing with fire right now. And our population is basically digitizing at a faster rate than any economy around in Africa. And it is projected that by within a few years, 80% of this country will be on broadband, either through smartphones or to the web or any internet form. So how are we going to be able to protect ourselves? That's a question that needs to be asked at the government level, it needs to be asked at the corporate level, and of course at the consumer level.
So I'll cut you off right there because I know there's a conference that's coming up to discuss these very issues. So from both of you very quickly, what essentially should be the things that we are looking at to get out of that conference?
Well, there's the conference by the Nairobi Law Institute, on cybercrime
Yes.
that will take place on 3rd and 4th. That is this Thursday and Friday.
Yes.
I'll actually also be a presenter there on issues of electronic evidence in courts.
Yes.
But I will speak more from the legal perspective.
Yes.
Our concern, it is difficult for the law to be ahead of technology.
Yes.
But law can anticipate technology, and law can react very fast to technology. I can say we are trying because we have certain bills, but at some of the pace we are doing it is not good. For instance, the data protection bill, another related act which is important,
Yes.
was first was drafted sometimes in 2013. It is yet to be adopted.
Yes.
So if you look at it in that context, we don't know how fast the cyber crime bill, which is very important because it beyond issues of financial transactions, the integrity, and that is also a very important aspect because the cyber crime report of 2015 stated that Kenya lost 15 billion in 2014 to cyber crime. Now, but besides that, it will address gaps in the law, things like cyber stalking, identity theft, issues of child pornography,